The Boy Who Colored the World, by Warren Liao. Welcome to the kingdom, where color is vibrant and bold. In the capital, a great stone castle stood. A marvelous city was built under its shadow. The streets were all lively with every color in its place. The boy had lived there since birth, with a little bird as his friend. No worries could cloud his mind, because everything was always fine. As long as memory could remember in time, people wore colorful clothes from head to toe. Color gave a purpose in their lives. They would dance every day and every night, to celebrate all things bright. Music flowed in the air. Markets bustled with folks selling their wares. Happiness sparkled in everyone's eyes. Every day was a lovely surprise. On one fateful day, a great genie appeared. His heart was evil and fed off everyone's fear. Jealous of everyone's bliss, he made up his mind to do some mischief. From his lips, he whispered a spell, Abracazum. A dastardly spell to steal all colors from the ground. It sucked all of yellow, red, blue and green, and purple, orange, violet, brown like a train. The genie took everything he could find. When he finished, it was bare. The kingdom looked dead. It was a happy place no more. With the spell casted, colors floated away from the kingdom, into the genie's evil snare. The jester's smile turned to a frown. Purple seeped away from each lady's dress. Silver disappeared from the royal guard's shields. Yellow escaped from a girl's golden hair. Green dripped from leaves of trees. Blue faded in the seas and skies. Orange disappeared from the market. Brown bricks turned to gray. All colors were gone, with no colors around. Panic spread throughout. All was gray and turned really dull. People screamed. Children cried. It was pure pandemonium in the kingdom. I must save us with this spell, the boy thought. If some remaining colors were found, a magic song could be spun. I must find colors of red, green, yellow, and blue, orange, violet, purple, black and other hues. With a cloak on his shoulder, and his bird following, the boy took a magic glass jar, and walked out into the once vibrant lands, to save the kingdom he loved so much. Outside of the kingdom, the flower fields were always well known, yet with no color found. It was as if they had died. The boy wept at the sight of the withered stalks. All the roses, lilies, jasmines were seemingly dead. Yet, the boy would not give up. He called his bird to search high and low, and finally found a field of mustard marigold, with the strongest and brightest yellow. The boy plucked one of the flowers carefully, and kept it in his jar tight, which glowed like a lantern to shine the way. With yellow in his pack, he felt like it would all be okay. No spell could take his strength. Not when the color was given by the sun. And it would soon go the right way. The boy could see in the dark. The ground was silent and still. He looked up to the sky, where the stars twinkled bright. The full moon glowed yellow. It was strangely peaceful at night. Even where all seemed lost, there was still color to be found. The boy took his lantern out, which cast its shadows far and wide. He scooped up the flickering shadow, and put it in his magic jar. Perhaps this malady he could beat. Another color less hidden from view made the boy feel more encouraged. Though there was still much to do, the boy reached a dense forest, which was once vibrant, with all types of lush greenery. It now looked lifeless and dead. A mighty oak tree came into view. It was the oldest tree in the woods, and there was magic in its leaves. Its branches grew very high. Come closer, little boy. I want to help you defeat the genie. Take a leaf of mane. My leaves have magic in them. Listening to the tree, the boy picked a freshly fallen leaf, and rubbed it till it gave a sweet scent. Green was thus captured in the jar, thanks to a humble leaf. Another color was found to his relief. The boy continued to walk. until the day was drawing to a close. He was wondering where to find the next color, and looked up into the sky and saw the sun. The sun clearly had plans. It would not be defeated. It would not hide. Not from the genie's evil spell. Not when everyone is on the boy's side. Come, little boy. Let me help you. I'll give you some sunshine. It'll help you with your quest. At the golden hour, the sun filled the sky with orange, which looked like marmalade spread. The boy waited for the right moment. Just before the light disappeared, a ray shone right into his jar, and he trapped some sunshine inside. Another color was captured and it filled him with pride. Suddenly, the boy felt the heat on his face. He looked up and saw a magnificent sight. The red phoenix was soaring from afar, its crested head glowing with light. Its majestic tail was long and fiery. Magic flames burned around it, leaving sparks which looked glorious, falling to the ground like cinders. By luck, a feather fell near the boy. He cried out in wonder, and quickly put it in his precious jar. Red flowed in with this marvelous feat. It made the boy feel a sense of renewed vigor. Things would improve from there. He just had to carry on. By the sea, the boy saw the water moving, shimmering with light in the depths below. A wonderful color was waiting. With a deep breath, the boy dived in. Deeper and deeper he swam, past fishes, shellfish and kelp, towards the bottom of the ocean floor. A giant clam as large as the boy beckoned to him and spoke. Take my magic pearl and save the world. It'll help bring the blue back into the kingdom. Once captured, he gently put it in his jar. The pearl filled up the glass with swirling blue. The water around it rippled with vibrance. It was calmly soothing too. Another color had been rescued, and this time it was the ocean's blue. The boy was walking along a path when a blue monarch butterfly appeared. Its wings reflected many shades. It flew close his cheek and whispered, I will give you some of my magic dust. Please go save the kingdom. I miss its flowers and merry laughter. Fluttering its beautiful wings, the butterfly dropped silver dust straight into his magic jar. The boy closed the lid and nodded. Thank you, Miss Butterfly. More color retrieved. It is time for him to go. Clouds started forming and rain fell thickly. Fearing a violent storm, the boy ran into a cave for shelter, where color barely lived, because there was scarcely any light. Maybe the rain was just fate. A blinking purple light appeared, followed by another, then another. Soon, thousands began twinkling. Fireflies danced in the darkness, lighting up the entire chamber inside, like a treasure cave with precious gemstones, glowing like stars on a beautiful night. The boy put a few fireflies gently into his jar. The royal color was the perfect one to find. Only a few colors left to break the spell. He had to hurry before the kingdom fell. The boy returned to the kingdom with his jar full of powerful magic. The genie can take away color, take the brightness of the sun, yet he cannot take our courage. We will never give up and run. The boy's powers grew stronger, and he set them back on the ground. He made a circle, sang a spell with perfect rhyme. Blue of sea, red of fire, yellow of marigold, silver of lead, purple of glitter, green of leaf, orange of the sun, black of shadows. Grow colors, grow. Be brighter than ever before. Blend, mix, and flourish. Bring back life and joy once more. With the words said, colors floated out to the town from the boy's magic jar. Red fixed the jester's frown. Purple went into each lady's dress. Black landed onto the royal guard's shields. Yellow flowed into a girl's golden hair. Green colored leaves of trees. Blue splashed in the seas and skies. Orange returned to spices in the market. Brown coated bricks of the walls. Everything had its color, and all colors were there. The genie looked at the boy in the eyes. There was no fear to be found. The genie had been defeated. The kingdom had found its colors again. With his spell broken, he had lost. And he won't be forgiven. He clenched his fists and shouted, "No, I have been bested by a boy." Ashamed, he floated away, disappearing like smoke, never to be seen again. Through courage and love, and never giving up hope, the boy had done the impossible, repainting all with 1,000 hues. Colors give us hope and power. The boy saw what they could do, how poor it was when they were gone. So hence, he would ensure colors always stay. The streets were all lively, filled with laughter loud and plenty. And the boy is now a hero to many, who sang his praises and his deeds, as if it was happening on a cue. A rainbow arch shot across the sky. In years to come, the boy was crowned as a prince of the realm, giving the story a perfect ending. Welcome once more to the kingdom, where color is vibrant and life is merry. The end. All rights